This is the book of Psalms 101 and verse 7. He that worketh deceit shall not dwell within my house. He that telleth lies shall not tarry in my sight. Verse 8. I will early destroy all the wicked of the land, that I may cut off all wicked doers from the city of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. I want to start off by giving all praises, all honor, and all glory to Kol Haloyim La Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Racha Kodash Barakatham. Double honors to the apostles and to the elders of the great millstone who do very well. Peace and salutations to the Akima that's pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akwat and the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, subscribing to this truth. To you, I say shalom. Brother Yahweh Sap out of GMS Cleveland Church, a fellow servant, coming at you with another lesson through the Spirit, through the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Basically, it's an article I'm going to do. Well, it's not an article, it's a video that popped up in my feed. Debating on how should I do this. Because, I want to be bold with it. We coming to the end, but it's a shame that we got to tiptoe. They expect us to tiptoe around us. The brother around them, Salakia. The brother from GMS Kansas City was saying the same thing. He was saying how it's funny because you have a so-called truther, one of these Edomites or anybody. Because I listen to, it's a guy that look like a Jake, but he may be a tear. But I be listening to all these different people that's bringing out information, and they can speak on the jab and the poke and all that. They can say the word with the V. Literally, they talk about all these different stuff, and we go to make a video about anything that they deem. They're like, that's how you know they butt hurt though, and that's called loyam la yahba shem yahshua, all praises, because that's a form of persecution to a degree. It's not the persecution that our forefathers went through, but that's coming. But nonetheless. But it's just like, we know what it is, but, it is kind of like, because we in this flesh, we get this flesh, so we get emotional, we feel some kind of way about it, because I feel some kind of way about it. It's how hypocritical that is. Like, I've seen multiple guys, that Black Scout survivor, all these different people will be speaking on the stuff that we speak on when we get flagged. But also it's a system, that's in place, so, I was going somewhere with that, but, so anyway, I was thinking about maybe just putting, labeling it exactly how it's worded on the video, because if this is based, we got freedom. That shit shows you don't have freedom of speech. Because if they're censoring what you can say, then you don't have freedom of speech. I wasn't really going arguing with the guy. This probably was the calmest I've ever been going back and forth with somebody. But it was a Jake. To show you how divided this shit is, this one little thing divided the country. There's a Jake. We had a dollar store. The line moving up, so I'm moving up. And every time the line move, I move. But the dude, he got a mask on. He's supposed to be fully vaccinated. And I keep seeing him looking behind him, but he ain't saying nothing, but he keep looking. So finally he like, yeah, man, can you give me some space? He like, and I'm like, some space? And I'm like, oh yeah, he like, yeah, man, you some space. You got this COVID and all that. And I'm like, man, you got a mask on. What are you talking about? He like, but you don't. And I said, you know how stupid you sound? If you got a mask on, what the fuck do it matter if I don't? People act like that's just like a rain jacket. If you got a rain jacket on and I don't, then what? The rain is not, Like you're more protected from the rain because it's actually covering you. That's like if you got an umbrella. Like this, it's like, this shit, that's how you know it's a spiritual spell. It's an enchantment because it's like people lost their fucking, they common sense. If the mask got you barely able to breathe, how the fuck, if you can't breathe with this mask on, how the fuck is what I'm doing going to affect you? But anyway, the dude, he worked at a hospital and all this shit. And I'm like, yeah, okay, what do you do at the hospital? And he didn't want to answer me because I'm like, well, okay, even if you think you seeing what you seeing because they telling you that, you ain't no fucking doctor. So you don't know what these people dying from. I told him one simple thing. I said, it's a reason why them people actually quit, them doctors and employees. While your dumb ass talking about you going to take the boosters and everything. And hope that motherfucker drop dead. If it be the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Because I was like, yeah, you know what I mean? I didn't say it then, but now I'm in the spirit saying it because that's our people though. I said, go do your statistics. I said, you got more people that's actually took the vaccinations and get sicker than people that didn't. Oh, no, that's not true. I say, what do you mean that's not true? You know what I mean? Statistics, the CDC talking about they ain't even figuring out everything that's going on with this. So what are you talking about? They done told you 3-4 different things. That's how goofy you fucking people are. So Salakia though, it's all on the same premise though, because like I said, these fucking devils. And that's why the scripture said, he that worketh deceit. When you come into the society to get anything, you're joined onto the system. That I is actually supposed to be the eye Lucifer, but it's all, everybody's up under that all-seeing eye because this devil, it's part of this system. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's supposed to be the eye of Horus, the eye of Lucifer, esoterically, but it's also up under this system. That's why when you say the Pledge of Allegiance, you're pledging allegiance to this place. Do you know you can't even work in certain government agencies like the CIA and shit like that? They go all the way back to your elementary school days and question things like that. Like, did you stand up and say your Pledge of Allegiance when they did it? I never did that shit. Well, I did it to a degree, but because I don't want to be no liar, but they used to have to make me lightweight do that shit. That's so spiritual. Just like when I used to go to them Harlem houses churches, I always was uncomfortable in there. I'm like, why am I thinking like this? Why am I looking at her ass? Why am I like, don't want to be in here? I've watched men stand out on the corner in the fucking freezing degree weather to hear the truth out in the element. So where the truth at? But Salakia, because these motherfuckers is deceitful. And the thing is this, bear with me for a second. And to have anything in the society, you got to be joined onto the society. Again, like I said, you see what I said about the CIA, you go look that up. Just like to be a lawyer or a doctor, you take oaths. The American Medical Association is founded on witchcraft. Why do you think they got the caduceus and all that old shit? Listen to the oath that they pray. I used to have it. I thought I had it in my phone. But it goes, they pray to all these fucking pagan gods and all this shit. That's why it's not surprising that they're along with this big ass push of this fucking shit. I remember one of my daughters, I think it was my last daughter, if I'm not mistaken. I know that's kind of fucked up. I know one of my children two of my children was born in the same hospital. One of my children was born in another. Matter of fact, no, I remember now. So, my last daughter was born at a particular hospital. Then my two previous daughters was born at this other hospital. But you got this hospital called Metro, and me and my demon was in there one time, and we looking at all these different, pyramid symbols and all this different shit. There's so much esoteric shit in there. But saying all that to say this, this video came to my attention, so Lord willingly is edifying.
Dr. Walensky, a couple things. As I walked in, I came in late. Either you or Dr. Fauci were saying that the reason that we're not saying that natural immunity is protective as is a vaccine, even though there's recent publications showing that 6 to 8 months out, 92% of those with natural immunity have T cells, B cells, and antibodies that would be considered adequate to protect. And indeed, B cell continues to decline. That we don't have data. Now, in your response to Mr. Casey, you just mentioned that CDC has access to tens of thousands of EHRs. And I've been told that HHS or CDC has access to patient identifiable data as to who tests positive. So I do that as a prologue. If we don't know that natural immunity confers protection against future infection, it's because we've decided not to look. Because I've learned that there is a cohort of people that we know have been previously infected. We've got the bench research showing that the triad of antibodies, T cells, and B cells are there, and that 92% of them are still there at 6 months out. So why have we not done the research showing that natural immunity confers protection against recurrent infection?
Yeah, thank you so much for allowing me to clarify this point because I understand the question. First of all, let me just reiterate that our current stand after reviewing 96 papers and a scientific brief on this issue is that everyone who's been previously infected should be vaccinated.
But that's not my question.
Agreed. And part of the challenge here is, as you know, the infection-induced immunity and the biases associated with retrospectively looking at the data. Several of those papers that we reviewed for that brief have demonstrated that the kind of disease that you had at the time you had it matters. Did you have disease a year and a half ago? Were you an older person?
Can I stop you for a second? We could do this prospectively because you know who is actually, apparently I'm told you've got patient identifiable data, and you would be able to say, okay, 6 months ago, we're going to start everybody infected within the last 6 months and be able to follow their EHR prospectively to see this. I mean, theoretically, CDC has the ability to do this right now.
Yeah, that too would have its own biases. So one of the things that we have demonstrated in the scientific brief is that asymptomatic and mildly symptomatic people who might not present to their providers, might present to an urgent care clinic, who might not be recorded in their own EHR, likely have less robust protection than those who've been severely infected.
But that could be established prospectively if using the data that you have. And you could even say, if you had symptomatic infection, you don't need to be vaccinated. We would consider you immune. You don't have to be subjected to the mandate. But
if we had data that demonstrated a correlation of protection, Dr. Fauci already mentioned data that they're working on to look at correlates of protection, not just in antibodies, but as you noted, in T cell function as well. So if we were able to document a correlate of protection, we absolutely could prospectively
this paper
follow.
that I'm reading from NIH speaks that there is durable memory of the virus up to 8 months after infection in 95% of the people who recovered, including B cells, which continue to climb, T cells, and antibody. And I'm also saying you could do it clinically because we have data that's patient identifiable that we could go back and look and see if they were exposed. They could be in a hot spot like Louisiana where you know they're being exposed, and then you would see, not just by lab data, but empirically. I can tell you the American people intuitively understand this, and they feel a little bit like we're being willfully blind to it. I have limited time. Let me just ask you something else. What percent of CDC employees are vaccinated?
We're actively encouraging vaccination in all of our employees and doing a lot of education and outreach in order to get our agency fully vaccinated.
But the percent?
I don't have that for you today.
I'm told that 75 to some north of 75% of CDC employees at headquarters are still working remotely. Is that correct?
We are following regulations through HHS and the federal government.
No, that's not my question. I apologize to be rude, but I'm asking a very straightforward question. I've been told that north of 75% of employees at CDC headquarters are working remotely. Is that correct?
Senator, I don't actually know the number off the top of my head.
Okay, when you look down the hallway, are there empty desks? Are over 50% of the desks empty?
Senator, I don't have the numbers off the top of my head. What I will tell you is that we're working closely within HHS and the administration to follow the governmental rules for return to.
There was a recent GAO report that shows, and released in the last 2 weeks, that there's been no coordinated response from the federal government to get people back into work. Now, if there's any agency that, since we have teachers in Fulton County are back at work, that the caseload of COVID in Fulton County is about 88. At its peak, it was 606. If what I've been told by someone who, frankly, kind of knows, that people in laboratories are not showing up. I have no clue how laboratory workers who presumably are vaccinated wearing PPE would consider themselves eligible to stay at home. I say this because I just want to echo. We got to lead by example in the federal government. If our public health agencies don't have enough confidence in the immunization and in the PPE to go back to work, fighting infectious diseases, there's going to be a lot of undermining of a willingness to further fund public health.
We absolutely have our essential labs back at work, conducting their essential research towards this response, and we are following the regulations and providing technical.
That's enough. That's all I really needed. Because at the end of the day, scriptures talk about liars and falsehood and deceitful people. Now the thing is, she never was really lying because she evaded the question. But the scriptures talk about And the point is, I'm gonna just get the point. It says, but let your communication, this is Matthew 5:37, but let your communication be yea, yea, nay, nay. For whatsoever is more than this, Salaki, for whatsoever is more than these cometh of evil. Because at the end of the day, if you're not just being straightforward saying yes or no, everything else like she's trying to do, you're trying to be deceitful. Or deceit could come into that. He asked her straightforward questions. And like he said, at the end of the day, you people are pushing something on other people that you're not even taking yourself. So yeah, that Jake is a fucking fool because like I said, I know you're not no fucking doctor. And I got a buddy I was homeless with that works in the hospital. I watched the Edomite bitch literally talking about she a Gadite when you got $5 Indians. Cause bitch, you ain't no Gadite for real. But because Esau got all these systems in place, and then they the same ones that want to take advantage of the same system, you exploited these people, but then you want to take the benefits that they reap. You know, you had a lot of Edomites take the land that's supposed to have been reserved for Gadites. This shit make you mad. So like I said, no, fuck some reparations. I feel like Apostle Tahar on that one. I'd rather piss on your fucking skull at the end of the day and step on your dead fucking body and terrorize your fucking families. In the end of the day, Salakia. That being said, scripture talks about never trust thine enemy. Do not trust these people. Scripture talks about cursed be the man that trusteth in man. And where's that at it? I'm gonna get it because I keep on quoting it, but because you got a lot of people, including 2/3 of our people, that actually put their confidence in Esau Edom. You know, Esau Edom can't go off, can't go wrong, always be ruling. You know, you got Jacob to sit up there and say, oh, I'm with you and I believe this. But no, they fucking don't. Because if you believed it, you'll be doing what the fuck I'm doing. No, niggas like servitude for real. A nigga do. I think it's 108. I'm off in the that shit pissed me off so bad. Bear with me for a second. Salaki, I had it right the first time. This is Psalms 118 and verse 8. It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man. To put confidence in man. Verse 9, it is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in princes. And that's why you're going to have a lot of people that's going to come to the realization, what's that, 2 Ezra chapter 15, I think verse 16, they're not going to regard their kings or princes. Because at the end of the day, these government officials that actually are dictating and pushing policies, but they're not actually partaking in the policies. You know, like Nancy Pelosi, how they fucked up her house and all that. At the end of the day, you're still getting paid while you telling people they can't go to work. Yeah, you're going to have people go, you're going to have some of these Edomites that's been in law enforcement that this whole system trained go fuck up some of these politicians and call her lawyer. That's how the Lord going to use everybody. Everybody going to play a part in this. So, where am I at? You know, and I get so passionate about it like the other brothers that I know sincerely in the faith, because at the end of the day, we are down with the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So the things that the Most High hate, we hate. You know, this is a false way. This is deceit. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 104. Through thy precepts I get understanding. The scriptures expose to us to who the fuck the devil is. The man of sin, the man of perdition. The son of destruction. So yeah, we hate this fucking rulership. We hate this fucking devil. We hate this queendom. We hate all this shit. Because this place does not uphold any of the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Bible. I was just thinking how a man can't even be a man in this fucking society. They tell you a man's supposed to work and supposed to do all these different things. So you do these things, but yet still you can't be a man in your own fucking household. I was locked up with people that was in jail in their house. They came to their house that they pay bills for. And somebody that's standing there literally talking about, oh, I don't like how he was talking to me. How the fuck you gonna get loud in your house and you paying for it? He pumping fucking people. I talked to a bitch yesterday. I said, you know what? I don't even want to rent from a woman. Not because, because I love women. You get what I'm saying? I just don't like these bitches that the Babylon, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, she talking about she want to see the house that you stay in now. And I'm like, okay, you the boss, so yeah, you could lightweight have your way, but you only having your way with the people that's going to let you have your way. Like, bitch, everybody ain't about to let you come in their house. And I ain't no nasty individual. I ain't got to hide nothing, but it's just like, who the fuck you think you is? But this the same bitch talking about her apartment's immaculate and had me come view an apartment with a big ass hole in it. Talking about all my apartment's immaculate. So I'm thinking to myself, well, bitch, what you had me come look at the apartment for now for? And then the people will look, I know I'm not the brightest, the smartest, the most structured, the most disciplined. I know my faults. And I'm sure the Most High will make me aware of the other ones, Lord willingly. Because we come into times, little shit could get you fucked up. Like all those little things you used to get judged on, and you might just get a scrape, or you know what I mean? Like the Lord might take you out now. Because that was the whole point of the building up and the edification and whatnot. You supposed to, the whole point of a learning process is not to keep on repeating. And I'm speaking to myself first and foremost. If it's coming across like I'm being authoritative or judgmental, and that's the Lord, how about Shimi Al-Shai? Because we all know what we're doing when we're not on this camera in the presence of another brother. And that's between you and Yahweh Shimi Al-Shai. So it says, through thy precepts I get understanding, therefore I hate every false way. I hate this fucking system. I hate that bitch, whatever that bitch's name is, but I know she the director of the CDC. She the face of these policies that they pushing, and I hope they fuck that bitch up. Because you want to be, because that's the thing. Motherfuckers want all the reward and don't want to take the pain that come with it. It's a balance. Like I told the bitch at my job, bitch, I'm not about to do this position. You give me a title, and I don't get off on just telling the motherfucker what to do. The risk and the reward ain't the same, bitch. I don't want just, I can tell you what to do, because I really ain't got no fucking power in there. Bitch, I ain't even got a key to the supplies. So, like, what the fuck? Get the fuck out of here. I ain't one of them goofy ass niggas that ain't never seen or did nothing. I'm 42 fucking years old, and I'm tired of this place all fucking ready. I just met a nigga that's probably like going on fucking 65 or something. This nigga he trying to hold on to dear life with this bitch. Talking about, I'm gonna take the third shot, the fourth shot, whatever, and hopefully you keep on taking them bitches. And everybody see something wrong with your dumb ass except for you. This book of Psalms 119, I think it's 128. No, it's 118. Psalms 119 and 118. Thou hast trodden down all them that err from thy statutes. Because you get judged. It tells you in the book of Zephaniah chapter 3 about the Lord's judgments go off day by day. The Lord judges somebody, every day. And you know what? Like I said, as of lately, it's been like a lot of judgment. Shit, Nick Cannon just lost his fucking son. And I ain't gonna laugh at him, but I don't feel no sorrow for that motherfucker. That's good for that dumbass nigga. Because you should know, I hope the Lord really got in his spirit that he know the Lord did that shit. Fuck you gonna have happiness when you supposed to be a fucking man. A man don't mean nothing about the size of your dick or how many dudes you beat up or none of that shit. A man is what you stand on, your principles. That's why you got a 15-year-old that'll fucking strap a bomb to his back and blow up a fucking army truck. That's a fucking man. Stupid ass fucking Babylonians, man. So yeah, they despise the statutes, the laws, and commandments of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So judgment's coming through the earth. For their deceit is falsehood. And that goes to 2/3 of our people, but mainly to the fucking red devil. That bitch up there avoiding the question. But she was smart enough not to just get flat foot caught up in lies like Fauci, dumbass. This is the motherfucker y'all following advice. This motherfucker just lying. But he wanna know why he don't give a fuck like that? He's so nonchalant because he feel he's protected. He feel y'all not going. He not going to jail. That's what he thinking in his mind. Not understanding that, yeah, you might be protected by these devils that you in cahoots with. But the thing is, you ain't protected from Yahweh Shem Yahushua. I hope that motherfucker gets spared. I claim that fucking devil. In the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Fauci bitch ass will be my fucking footstool. So at the end of the day, our people, it tells us in the book of Isaiah, don't tell it, or it's Isaiah's Jeremiah said, don't prophesy unto us. I think it's Isaiah. Don't prophesy to us, prophesy unto us smooth things. I think it said, don't prophesy to us rough things, but prophesy to us smooth things. So our people, 2/3 of our people rather hear a falsehood. They rather hear the lie. You know what I mean? I remember my demons did that. I remember we was homeless and she had a baby we had my first baby on the way. And, she was like, do you think that we gonna ever get our shit together? And yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna speak as a man. I'm gonna try to get us a situation going with the housing and all that, but only the Lord can say what's gonna happen. And she didn't really respect the answer, but it was all the truth. And that's 2/3 of our people. As well as these dumbass Americans. They can feel and see something going on. They just want to be, oblivious to it. They want to act like it's not there. That's why it's so important to be getting rid of your baggage now. Your spiritual baggage. And if you a brother in the truth and you calling yourself really in the truth, there's nothing wrong with having nice shit. But if you constantly accumulating right now, I don't even suggest accumulating a lot of like things that we think we may be able to use in the future, from silver coins to food. Ain't nothing wrong with having an extra bag here and there. You got brothers with bigger families and whatnot, but all that is going to be, vanity. It's all going to be vain because you don't know what the Lord got his lot set up for you. You might have a whole stash of shit and the Lord sends you to the FEMA camp. And come on, shit. I've been locked up multiple times, many a times in this truth. And like I say, I can say this, it was never for out there preaching. The one time that I was put in a situation where the police was going to take us to jail for preaching, I kept on preaching, and the brother that I was reading for, he stopped. That was all the spirit. But no, it was from a lot of dumbass choices, and I'm just being honest. Because if I can't be honest with myself, how am I going to be honest with you all? But we coming into times, we can't keep on being foolish. I can't reiterate that enough. So I wouldn't put my stock in all that stuff. If you got some of that stuff right now, that's cool. But, richest profit not in the day of wrath. Proverbs chapter 11, I think verse 4. So since our people trusted in this devil and they trusted in this system and it's going to bounce back and America going to be great again, I got a scripture for you and I'm going to end on this. This is Job chapter 15 verse 31. Let not him that is deceived, meaning do not, the person that's being deceived, let him not. So don't. Let not him that is deceived trust in vanity. Vanity is worthlessness. Vain shit. These words that these fucking devils that's telling you, oh yeah, take this shit that's gonna save you. And I'm listening to this shit. Nigga, you work in a hospital. You should know the statistics if you want to talk about you watching people die every day by day. You don't know what the fuck they talking about they died from. Literally, it's already been proven that the government is giving these hospitals way more fucking money for those cases. So literally, like I say, they automatically trying to test you for that shit. You going in there for your fucking foot. They talk about, yeah, you got to take a COVID test. Like, fuck out, what I got to take a COVID test for? If you heard the beginning of that hearing, of that video, they said it's research coming out that shit is proving that literally, natural, what's that called? Natural immunity is just as good as the vaccination. Oh, fuck them. It says, Job chapter 15, verse 31. Let not him that is deceived trust in vanity, worthless, vain things. Especially these words that fucking Vanessa bitch, any of this shit. Fucking the metaverse. These FRN notes. For vanity shall be his recompense, meaning his reward. So since you want to trust in this shit, if you won't trust in it, then that's what you're going to get as a reward. Something that's worthless, nothing. So if you're so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I implore you to come back to the laws, to the statutes, and to the commandments, meaning repent and come back. to the law, statutes, commandments of your power, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, or you will be destroyed. And with that, I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to call Loyam La Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Racha Kodash Barakatham. Double honors to the apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone who do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akwath and the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord, willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, subscribing to this truth. To you, I say shalom. Till next time I'm able to come on another lesson. Shalom, shalom. Shalom.